Are we on? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Microphone check. Lights. Cameras. Hit me. This is swanky. This is lifestyle. This is culture. Welcome to the social center of everything culture. Culture Daily.
You're welcome back. You're welcome back from that commercial break. Well, you heard Sonnie Badu's songs, and then I already mentioned that we have him in the studios. I also mentioned that today we're going to do things differently with an all ladies panel. So Chantel aka Shanty Baby and Isilfwa aka Adios are here in the studios. But before then, let's just remind you that we are on Sky, okay? Channel 7 Sky, dial 181, catches on there. Culture Daily, we also have Shove It Up and Just Vibes on there. So Culture Daily comes to you Mondays to Fridays, 7 to 10 a.m. Shove It Up Sundays, 4 p.m., which repeats as well on Wednesdays at 9:30. And then Just Vibes Saturdays, 8 p.m. and repeat on Wednesdays at 10:30 p.m. Now remember that we are international, and so this is a UK TV station we are blabbing about, okay? All right, so AC will take us on the LPM as well as Shanty Baby, and then we delve into the conversation with the evergreen Sonnie Badu.
Great. So now this is from Pepsodent. Now Pepsodent says every time we eat, food and sugars are trapped between our teeth, leading to tooth decay, gum disease, and in some cases, foul breath. Now you don't want that, do you? Brushing your teeth every morning and every night with Pepsodent Cavity Fighter gives your teeth the protection they need, leaving you with 10 times stronger teeth. Now Pepsodent Cavity Fighter is fortified with pure fluoride and microcalcium ingredients, sealing tiny and invisible holes in your teeth. Now this prevents cavities, keeping your teeth strong and your mouth healthy. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter, maximum cavity protection, 10 times stronger teeth. Always remember to brush your teeth in the morning before you sleep at night. Pepsodent, every smile matters.
I saw what you did there with the profile.
Yeah,
you had to be careful.
Very important.
You had to be careful. Shanty Babies.
Discover a world of innovation, a world of luxury, and a world of many of us dream about owning. Discover the world of Bang and Olufsen, a particularly true brand in the ever-evolving realm of high-end electronics you might love to own. Locate our showrooms right here in Accra, Ghana, Atlantic Tower, Liberation Road, number 1, where each passing day, month, and year, a variety of draw-worthy new electronic gadgets ranging from exquisite home theaters, speakers, headphones, television sets, soundbars, and so much more. Bang and Olufsen like no one else.
Alrighty, thank you. Chantal has, set the pace for the conversation because UK meets UK. But yeah, let's open the floodgate to the conversation with Sonnie Badu. Yes, I did that intentionally. Let's open the floodgates. Well, Dr. Sonnie Badu, he's into musicology, ministry, he's a pastor, he's a life coach. The list goes on and on and on. Welcome, sir. Drum roll, lady.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome to Ghana. I know that you spend time in Ghana, but you don't live here, right?
No.
Right. I'm right on that.
I do come every now and then, quietly.
Yeah. Why quietly though?
Because sometimes after the busy schedule, you just want to come back home and just eat your mother's food and
Very important.
Mind your business.
Very
So I'm an introvert. So
what is your favorite food, may I ask?
Yam and corned beef.
Yam and corned
stew.
But okay. I've got to prepare it.
Okay.
Nice.
I can't relate with the yam. I really don't like yam, but anyway, let's start with your music, right? In 2013, if I remember correctly, you had a concert at the Accra Sports Stadium. First time I ever went to the Accra Sports Stadium for any event.
You were there?
Yes, I was there.
Wow.
Is it in 2013?
Yes.
I got that right. But yeah, I haven't seen or heard you hold, another of that yet. What would you say the reason is?
Everything I have done has been well planned and plotted. So I knew I'll take a break and plan a church and build my family.
Okay.
So I knew I wanted to do a stadium. After that, take a break, get married,
Okay.
have children, ministry. That's a lot, because sometimes ministers can travel, can live life and leave their family behind.
Right.
I didn't want to do that. I have 6 children, and
Okay.
with all of them, I got to take them to school. Like the first day in school, Daddy must take you. I have to literally sit in the classroom with them and spend time with them.
Wow.
I don't miss certain things in their life. Like now, I'll be missing Christmas, and one of the Ayana, she's doing a play, and that's heartbreaking because they want to sing and they want Daddy to watch them sing. So I'll be watching it live on FaceTime.
Okay.
And it's my eldest birthday as well. I'll be missing it. Ministry has made me miss some of their childbirth as well. When some of them were being born, I was literally on the flight flying down, or I missed it and went the next day. So with that, there has to be a balance.
Right.
Yeah, I love that. Now I feel like you said, everything you have done has been planned, right? But then you can always plan, but it doesn't exactly go your way. So when you have everything planned and you look at what's going to happen, and then things don't go your way, how do you feel and how do you react to it?
You always have to look out for the what ifs after you plan. When you put a plan down, also put down, what if this happened? What if that happened? What would I do? Let me give you an example. So my wife is due on this date. The plan is to get there on time, but what if you don't get there on time? You got to get somebody to fill in. Or I want to do this. So in life, you have the opportunity to weigh the what ifs and figure it out. So I've had to do some, and I kind of figured it out and worked it out.
Well, 10 years after that concert, because we are in 2023, right, you've done the figuring out, you've done the planning and everything. Are we going to get a SonnieBadu concert again?
More than a SonnieBadu concert.
Okay, fill us in on that then.
The 10 years concert, SonnieBadu was a younger version.
Okay.
You understand? With Mercedes, there's S-Class, and then there's S-Class Maybach. Same model, but there's a Maybach.
Improvement.
This one be the Maybach.
There's an update. There's an update on that.
I'm kind of old, but trust me, once I hit the stage, it's something different. It's an experience. That's what I'm telling people, that this one is an experience. And it's not a concert. I need you to be there because you were there 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And you judge for yourself.
Okay, we'll get talking about that, a lot more later.
Absolutely.
But we touched on fatherhood, right? I think that now we are in a time where, there's a bit of a detachment and an attachment at the same time. Some people are detached, like the older generation. Some of them, not everybody, right, are detached from fatherhood and their duties. Just opposing that with now, where this generation, they want to be present, they want to be there, right? What has your fatherhood journey been like?
I have a congregation of about 500 people.
Okay.
I mentor a lot of men. One of my policies is you're useless if another man takes care of your child. Except you're dead or something, you're a useless man if another one takes care of your child. And there's been so many scenarios where the woman divorced, or they divorced, and there's a child, but the father is not responsible, and the stepfather is the one that's taking everything. I find it very offensive because boys need their dad. Most people who are struggling with their sexuality is as a result of living with mommy throughout.
Oh.
So all their visuals concepted was mommy making up, mommy in high heels. There was no man to man them up.
Oh, I get
Most of them, okay? Most of the girls who have been abused in life as a result of not having a father who they could run to for shelter and love. So they run to other men who take advantage of that. So fatherhood in the house is a big deal. And hey, talking to every man, if you have a child anywhere, go find your child.
Do you believe that there has been a decline in both genders really understanding their roles? Even in relation to the Bible, it clearly states, the man should be, i.e. the provider of the home, and the woman should be, the nurturer, etc. Do you think in this generation right now we're witnessing people not really understanding their roles and not taking up their roles effectively?
I think it comes naturally. It should be natural. If you're a man, you've got to provide, right?
Yeah.
But then some men have not provided, and it's made the women become men in the house, because if they don't do it, there will be a problem in the house, or the children will struggle. And men have those tendencies of not really caring. You just go out, and the women have to fend for it. So I think situations have brought all these things, and it needs to be looked at individually, and then you can tell that, okay, this is what the problem was, or this is what it is. But fatherhood is everything.
I like how you speak on that. I like how you touch on that. I think that,
Listen.
and you've spoken about, some very deep things that can't, easily be said. And that's one thing about Sonnie Badu. You share your thoughts, but you share it so precisely and concisely, regardless of being a gospel musician or a gospel minister. I'm saying this to say that, most of the time they say that the people in the gospel ministry should be more laid back, right?
Reserved,
in reference to, in relation to those in the secular space. What is it for you that gets you as fearless as you are, that gets you speaking and touching on all of the issues you speak and touch on without fear, without favor?
I guess I have the British mindset. Mind you, I'm British, and we speak our mind and we say it as it is.
We do.
I knew you were going to do that.
And so it's those ones that I'm not a gospel artist living in a gospel space. I live in the world, right? When you sit on the flight, it's not all Christians sitting there, right? And you have a right of opinion. You've got to say something. End of the day, I can't come here and say what I want to say until you ask me, right?
Yes.
But when I'm on my page, I can say whatever I want to say. You can choose to read it or not. That's my policy. But most of the time, I think it makes sense.
It does.
It
does.
Like, even though, it does make sense, this is an issue that I have, right? How do you react to people saying that you are this person? Because people always want to put you in this pedestal. You've done this, you're a minister this, you've done that. And they have you in this high place, and then you make a statement or you have an opinion that doesn't sit well with them, and they think that because you're Sonnie Badu, you can't say this or shouldn't say this.
Okay,
how do you
give
react
me
to that?
one statement I made.
I'm not saying.
No, let's play a scenario.
Okay, maybe you go maybe giving is something that is very essential. Everybody needs to give. Some people feel like if you go to church and you don't have, you shouldn't give. But maybe you go you should give the little you have. God appreciates it, right?
So if you have the patience and you ask questions, I can choose to answer you and explain to you that this is why I said this.
Okay.
Most people don't ask questions. They jump in and comment.
Yeah, so when they do that, does it get to you? Because I feel like sometimes,
I don't even read
It
it.
doesn't. Okay.
My team reads and responds. I
that.
don't have that time.
Okay.
When I'm bored, I can read it. But when I'm not, I mind my business. You see, what I've seen in life, most people haven't seen it. Where I've been to in life, with all humility, most people haven't seen it. So if you want us to talk, then let's talk with knowledge and experience. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Good. So when I discover that what I'm saying, you don't get it, why should I respond to you when you're not getting anyway? If I talk about the city capital in Atlanta, would you understand it? No, because you've never been there. Perhaps those who are following me would understand it, or those who live in Atlanta would understand it. So that's why I wouldn't just respond to anybody.
Okay.
Speaking of being vocal, you are quite vocal on Twitter, just like my colleagues have said. You share your opinion quite often. And just as of last night, a big Twitter eruption happened whereby the Ghanaian general public were ranking and rating gospel artists that we actually have in this country. Speaking of top 10, top 20, etc. What actually makes a valuable and good gospel artist? What are the components?
Okay. If I want to be churchy, then I'll say they call it anointing. If I want to be churchy, what is the anointing? That which the person is delivering, and you are experiencing an atmosphere that's undeniable. Like, oh my God, I'm feeling the presence. Okay, that's in the gospel world. But when we want to talk about top 10 or
Top 20
top
even.
20, you've got to check excellence. You've got to check presentation, quality of music, content of music. Once you check all of that, that's what I'll rate. You understand? Because somebody can go into, look at the studio, right? You can't compare this to, I wouldn't mention a name.
Others, just
And others.
Yes.
And others,
many more.
And others,
you can't do that. Look at the kind of people speaking. And you go to other places and there are also types of people, right? So when you talk about rating, you got to check quality and quantity.
Okay.
You understand? So without going or mentioning names, I'd say Joe Metal, you have the Joe Metals. I mean, he's won an award. He's won the Artist of the Year. So I wouldn't even put him in a league. He's he's in a class of his own. Joe Metal has moved from here to the global world where other countries, other people call him and say, hey, come join us. So Joe is incredible. You have MOG, who's also emerging so quick. Americans are singing his songs. So we want to understand the excellence that comes with it, the quality of deliverance. Then you put the anointing on top of it.
On top of it. So that's the anointing is the icing on top of, the
Because
cake.
a lot of people sing with excellence but don't have the anointing.
Right.
And people still think, oh my God, this is...
It's great.
Yeah, it's the visuals, it's what you see, and it's the presentation. So they're different
I get
diversity.
that. I get that totally. Now that you mentioned music quality, right? I can say that SonnieBadu brought on a certain quality when he lurched onto the music scene in reference to we not hearing a sound like that, right? You were doing English songs, not to say there was none prior to when you came onto the scene. There was, but you did it differently, right? You did your whole subtitling several years ago when it wasn't even a thing. You had a different aura, a different grace. You came onto the scene being different. What would you say was that motivation for you to stand out? And I think that is one of the reasons why you easily stood out, from the pile, right? What was that motivation? What kept you going? Which people did you feed on and feed from to be who you are?
So naturally, I've always stood out for excellence. Excellence can be costly to the ignorant, but very affordable to the knowledgeable. Okay.
I like that. Costly to the ignorant, and then
affordable to the knowledgeable.
Yeah.
So this simply means that putting up this studio might be very expensive, but the person who didn't knows what they're up to. Or somebody can have money and they just do it and you're like, I did that time, I did kind of thing. So the reason why I just didn't jump and do concerts back to back is because I didn't feel I had what it took, even financially, to put it together.
Okay.
Because there's a way I want it done. There's a way it must be done. If it's not that way, then I'm not doing it until I get it right. I had a concert this beginning of the year at the Buckhead Theater. Now, those who don't live in Atlanta might not know the Buckhead Theater,
We don't know.
Major.
but it's a big deal. Like no African artiste, secular guys, Tiwa Dems, they do it there, but gospel never happened, right? Now to secure the place, even for insurance, is like $1 million a day.
Oh, what?
Yeah, which means you have to pay $3,000 a day, right?
Yeah.
That hall alone was almost, I think, $40,000 US. to allow you to go on YouTube, to use their brand for YouTube, was $10,000 extra.
Wow.
You see?
Okay.
But I needed Bucket Theater. I needed to make that statement. So I took it and I did it. That's what's online. I did DAR Constitution. That's where the Eddie Murphys and all of that, that's where they do their comedy. I don't want a church. I want that place. They didn't think I could fill it. About 5,000 seater. It was filled. So I'll put money together, and if I have to wait 5 years, I'll wait. And when I do it, I wouldn't be in a hurry to undo it.
Yeah.
Because it will stay in your memory for so long.
Forever.
You'll keep reliving it. So excellence sometimes takes time. But when you get there, eventually everything makes sense.
You mentioned that there was the need for you to fill, that bucket theater, right? What was it exactly? I understand that, sometimes as artists or as ministers, you being a gospel musician, let me just use, as ministers of the gospel, you may be doing it by the leading of the Spirit, right? But what was it for you? What was that need for you to fill the
I've
bucket
always
theater?
stood for putting things together in monumental places.
Okay.
Places when they'll tell you no gospel artist, no black guy goes there. That's where I want. Buckhead in Atlanta is a big deal. I mean, when my American colleagues realized I was doing it at the Buckhead, they were like, oh, okay. Because most of them would do their concerts in the church.
Yeah.
So because of the records I want to set and the portfolio I want to have, I normally pick a target and make sure I meet that target. Like next year, after Bucket, I'm doing the Fox Theater.
Okay.
In
Is this
in
an
Atlanta.
exclusive?
Yes,
For
I'm
us?
telling you.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
And,
Yay.
and the Fox Theater, before then, they needed to check monumental places I've been. I've held a concert. You can't mention the church. They need to see grandiose places that you've done. So I have my records, DAR Constitution, tick, Bucket Theater, tick, Fox Theater. So it's a different league. And that's what I stand for. That's what makes me Sonnie Badu, with all humility.
Okay. I like that.
Speaking of excellence and the way things should be done, we're now seeing a surge of gospel music videos that have become very lavish, almost like movies in terms of storyline, props, lighting, and feel. Now, some are also of the argument that these videos promote vanity. We see luxurious houses and cars. What would you say to people who say that?
It's their opinion. And everybody's entitled to their opinion. Personally, that's amazing, because we're tired of people standing by walls and doing that video.
Flowers and
Floating
crying.
over the river,
Yeah.
CGI effects,
Yeah.
just floating.
And crying, and
Okay,
True.
all right. Now you guys
Yeah.
took it out of me. Right?
True.
So the what PSCA Esther, you guys know her, right?
Yes.
What she's done is this. This is my type of song, but I'm going to present it in this way,
Yeah.
excellently. I'm going to project myself visually, so that I feed your visual cortexes, and so you're hearing the same songs 15 years ago. Somebody will stand by the wall and just sing.
Yeah.
But now this person presenting it is doing it in such an excellent manner that you're drawn to it. Picking the Nanama McBrowns to act with them, and that plays 40% of building that song to make it a big hit.
With what you said, right, Sonny, I would just ask about, how they say that standardly, I don't know how to put this. I'm trying to put it right. Okay, so Christianity is supposed to not look lavish. So I'm sure that's what she's asking. Most of the time when we speak on Christianity and all of that, they expect that you are humble with it, like you are down to earth, humble with it. You are speaking from a place of quote unquote abject poverty. You are speaking from a place of pain, a place of depression. You get what I mean? Like, we get that a lot. And so when you're able to move and grow from, you know, that place to where people don't expect you to be, that's when they do the whole just opposition of, oh, you're a Christian, you shouldn't be dressing like this. You're a Christian, you shouldn't look like this. You're a Christian, you shouldn't talk like this. You're a Christian, you shouldn't own, you know, some of these things, or else it doesn't speak well on you. Do you hear that a lot? What's your advice for us all who think that Christianity should be equal to poverty?
I know exactly what you're saying, and here's the problem. Religion has killed so many people. Religion has messed up people's mindset. Christianity doesn't mean poverty. No, it doesn't. Live good. Enjoy your life.
Right.
You only live once. If you see a car and you like it, buy it. If you see something expensive and you like it, buy it. But don't forget to take care of the poor and the needy when you need to. You understand? I love to look good. I love to feel good. And nothing stops it. Most of the time, when you don't have money, that's when you criticize people.
Yeah.
But when you get something in your pocket, trust me, you know, years ago, many years ago, talking 25, 26 years ago, I used to say people are wasting money, first class, you know, you don't need it. Is it not the same place you're traveling to?
Yeah.
You know, you can feed the poor there. Until I tasted it one day. I said, again, literally. And from there, I worked so hard never to leave the single numbers. Now, when I say single numbers, I mean 1A, 2B, 3C, never to leave. Why? Medically, it's even better. Okay? Okay. Now, sitting on the flight for many hours with your legs like that, there's going to be blood flow issues, blood clot issues. There's a recent gospel artist out and mentioning his name. He's in Nigeria. He died recently.
Oh.
It was blood clots.
Okay.
You see, so when you travel extensively, certain things are not luxurious for you. They're necessities. It's not like certain things are not luxurious for me. It's a necessity. I got to do it because I can afford it.
Would you say the same for those who own private jets and fly
Absolutely.
private often?
Private jet means that I can jump on quickly and head to where I'm going to without going through customs because I've been checked in already, so I don't miss my time. Perhaps I've got 17 meetings in 17 different states and I've got to do it in a day. Jumping on commercial flights doesn't make sense. So if I can afford it, then let me get my pilots paid and jump from here and here. And I should be done because the amount of money coming in is $10 billion. So why not take $30,000 and do this whole day trip?
You can balance somewhere.
You've got to be on that level to understand it. All of you, if you're on the same level and you're talking about private jets, you just talk about which private jet is this. Look at the Davidas and everything. Oh, you think he's living luxury in private jet? No, number one is for privacy. Sometimes after performance, you just want to be quiet and just move to the next thing. Now, you don't want, let's take picture. Okay, let's take picture. No, you don't want that. So your people will usher you in there. Plus, sometimes you can collect different money from different places, knowing that when you're done with this, the next day you're sitting on the flight. What if the flight is cancelled? You will be sued. So you see, these are some of the reasons why, if you don't understand it, you'd say, hey, where do you say can? No, if you do $400,000 and then I know part of his contract is you guys pay for the jet, I'm not paying for it, right? If you want me, I'm busy here. I'm busy. What's your name?
Chantel.
I'm busy with Chantel. But if you need me, I can be with you tomorrow, Essie. I can be with you tomorrow, but you got to get a jet. Because you're desperate, you pay for me to come, right? And I can kill two birds. Oh, I get a third person. Wait, from Essie, I can come to Lenny. And so all these things become a necessity and not a luxury.
Right. I get that. But also, let's wheel back to, the Nigerian musician that you mentioned. Is this Sammy Okoso you refer to?
I don't like to mention names. Otherwise, the bloggers might twist
Take
it.
that.
And the whole attention
We'll move to that.
Yeah, so-
No, I get that, but I was asking to ask that. I know that you had, a relationship with him, right?
Sammy's my brother.
Exactly.
Sammy is my brother. Sammy and I literally started this whole thing of we gotta move African music from local to global. We literally sat down and said, guy, this is how we're gonna do it. This is where we're gonna take it. And so everything you saw him doing, you saw me do.
Same.
We were literally pathing ways for others to come in and drive comfortably, if I can put it that way. So his death was a sit up for some of us, because age will catch up with you.
Definitely.
Years ago I looked younger, going gray, going old. But sometimes there's a need to rest. Like today when we got here, I had to sleep in the car because I'm getting old. It's going to shoot my blood pressure up. I don't have blood pressure issues, but I know medically if you don't get enough sleep, your pressure is going to go up. Let me give you an example. I was in the church and they were doing healing service, and the young man went to the pastor and said, he had chest pains, and the pastor prayed for him, and when I said, no, that's blood pressure right there. When your chest starts hurting, that's blood pressure right there. You got to go sleep or go to the doctors. So you got to take care of yourself medically as well. So Sammy's issue was medical, and sometimes when that happens, you also have to advise yourself, make sure you do the necessary things. Don't overwork yourself. When you need to sleep, just knock out and sleep so your body can, recoup.
No,
And I like that this is coming from you as a gospel musician, because standardly all you hear is pray. It will be
Yeah, I was
pray.
just
No,
going to say that.
But you need to draw the line
absolutely
between
not.
spiritual
I,
physical.
there was a pastor sitting next to me, and I said, no, this has nothing to do with prayers. Way high blood pressure. Unja and chineri. Stop. So most of the people in my congregation, when they come, most of the men, I cut them off sugar, because that's diabetes. You see, some of the church folks will tell you, and let me be careful and selective. I don't drink this, I don't drink that, but I drink this and that. And the sugar content in that's diabetes right there.
Right.
So most pastors have diabetes, and it's not the devil is a liar, booyah, baba. In the name of Jesus, let this diabetes go. It's how you take care of yourself. In your younger age. Sugar, stay away from it. I don't take sugar. I never touch sugar. So no, I don't. I don't eat too much starchy foods. I take my carbohydrates are portioned. I know it's Tuesday, I can have carb, but I can't have it till the next Tuesday. Like strict diet.
I should learn from you.
So there are a lot of things pastors are praying about that is not demonically inclined. It's just a medical default.
Now, I wanted to ask, it's been a very tiring topic. I'm saying tiring because so many people have died because they just relied on what their pastor said and left the hospital. I mean, I'm not really certain, but with the footballer that died, apparently he took out the machine in his heart because he was advised and they said they need to pray for him and he'll be fine.
I don't think that was Jamina.
Okay,
there was another Nigerian footballer that died a week after. And for him, it surfaced that his pastor was telling him that don't worry, you're fine. Listen, if you have heart condition, I pastor a church in Atlanta.
Rock Hills.
Now, in America, you are responsible for anything you say. 1. 2, a family can sue you if you lead them wrongly. That's why I say terrains are different. Okay?
Yes.
So personally, even at church, before you join, you have to sign a consent that should Dr. Badu lay hands on you and you drop. Understand that you're in church, and that is part of the service, and there are no liabilities, because somebody can drop and say, I hurt myself, and they'll bring you a lawsuit that somebody injured themselves. Again, two, my church is insured over $4 million just in case of these
Anything
things.
happens.
You see? Terrains are different. Okay, so personally, when I'm doing counseling and somebody says, I'm feeling this way, my first answer is go for a checkup and come and tell me what the doctor is saying. Right?
Yes.
So when they come back, now what medication did they give you? That, okay. Then this is what I say. Be taking that whilst I also do the spiritual aspect of it. Because God put doctors in place
For a reason.
to also help.
Exactly.
Okay? Now when God said, Jesus said, greater work shall you do. People are still saying greater works, that, and they think something is going to come from the sky. But let me tell you what greater works is. Jesus on earth did certain things, but medical doctors now are doing greater works. Heart transplant, greater works than that thing that Jesus did at that time. You understand? That's greater works. So the greater works they are thinking and looking up to, we're already doing it. Private jets, greater works. Architectural buildings that the morning they had Greek build, you know, now you're seeing skyscrapers. That's the greater work, the skyscrapers. What the medical field is able to do now, it's greater works that shall you do. You understand? So the doctors, I have medical doctors, nurses at my church. I have, and guess what? My church is one of the places, if you have cancer and you come there, it goes.
Okay.
SonnieBadu's track record check. People, especially in the area of cancer, a young lady, 23-year-old girl, came in there, had cervical cancer, prayed with her. Now I gave her, we call it prophetic direction. That one, I can't explain it here if you're not churchy. But
if you don't understand, you don't understand.
If you don't understand, you don't understand.
Straight.
But it is the man of God who has that calling called the prophetic calling, now under the inspiration of God, hearing what you must do for this to be averted. And then he speak with authority to command that thing to go. We've had cases of HIVs. They came to the young people. The first lady came, it was her boyfriend that gave it to her deliberately. So heartbreaking. So heartbreaking. So heartbreaking. The second guy, it was a male friend that gave it to him. You see, again, in my church, America is different. Atlanta is different. So when you're dealing with people based on the mindset, you got to understand. But they were healed out of a prophetic direction. So again, the doctors got to play their part. But the pastors, the prophets, the apostles also have a part to play.
I like that.
It comes
I like
with
how you put that.
understanding.
I like how you, it comes with,
Absolutely.
definitely comes with understanding.
And sometimes if people are not willing to understand, then there's nothing to explain. But then if they're open to understand it, then you break it down and give reasons why this must be done this way.
Another thing that I would say comes with understanding is the Christian's outward appearance. Because I can say that you go against the status quo, right? Being that your type of hair is not what we are used to as, you know, African Christians, right? You have a tattoo. That's not what we are used to as African Christians, I beg your pardon. So if you just touch on that, and then we lurch into talking about rhythms of Africa. First with your church tour, and then with a concert.
See, I'd love to talk about that. But once I speak about tattoos and all of that, it will divert their attention. But I promise we'll talk about that another time.
Air. I would want to hear it because I've got a few myself.
We'll talk about that another time.
Another time, definitely.
My hair, again, if I start to talk about it, a blogger will not focus on the concert. Or because SonnieBadu say that would divert it. But everything has a reason. And before you judge anybody, ask why. If you get the opportunity to get close to them. And that is what knowledge is. Knowledge is research. What is research? Asking why and how. You understand? So people who are quite knowledgeable are people who ask questions. If you come to me to ask why and I don't answer you, well, I could choose to. But if I don't, then you have every right to say, hey, he's left me to come up with my own opinion because I asked him and he didn't give me an answer. But if you come to me, I'd love to answer you. I'd love to respond to you. So I help you gain knowledge. Like we're sitting here. We're all sharing knowledges, right? There are certain things you didn't know that now you're like, I know that. So if I get the opportunity another time after the concert, we'll sit down and I'll tell you why I left my hair this way. What if I told you I have a scar on my head that I don't want anyone to see?
Right.
What if I said, I don't like the shape of my hair? It doesn't give me that confidence, so I just needed to cover it up. What if I said, because I traveled so much, I hate different barbers touching your hair. Listen, your hair is your glory. Your hair is your power. And personally, I'm not a big fan of people touching my hair. So I've had one barber here in Ghana for almost 15 years. He's the only person that touches my hair. In America, I have one barber. Wherever I am, he flies down. He comes to my house. My son as well. We don't go to barbering shops. They come to the house, do it for $300, and I'm good. You know, perhaps once every month or whatever. But there is always a reason.
A reason for things happening. I understand that totally, and I respect that, right? Definitely always a reason. But that will lead us into talking about Rhythms of Africa, right? You have the concert coming up, but you are on a church tour now. What would you say your reason is for first doing the church tour before the concert? Because a church tour concept is new to me, right? I'm hearing it for the first time.
I was excited when I saw it on your socials. I was like,
okay. So most people, especially in the gospel world, have seen SonnieBadu on screen, but they've never met him or experienced him.
That's true.
And so with the church tour, it gives me the opportunity to just invade the church, enjoy the atmosphere, and make myself reachable. I was in the church on Friday, and the pastor said, I've looked forward to just shaking your hands. And I just said, Pacho Miaminio. People don't know. The other side of me is just so down to earth, so cool. You know. And I told him I was going to do 10 minutes. I did 2 hours.
Ooh.
The place was so, oh God. Can I use the presence? Do you guys understand that? You guys do, right?
Yeah.
The presence was so, I have to respect all platforms. This is not a gospel platform.
We do
now.
understand that totally.
Excellent. So the presence was so strong that nobody was taking the microphone from me. So we just kept
to flow with it.
Oh yeah. So the church tour is for free as well. One pastor, we missed his church, and he said, come up to my office. And he gave me some money, some big money. He said, listen, I've been looking forward to meeting you. I know you're doing this concert single-handedly. Here, this. Oh, I was so
nice.
touched.
That's nice. I think I saw the post.
Mine are down for by force. You know, but that was so touching because this is single-handedly. You know, nobody, no company. I've had a few people pushing in, but this is what we call faith. Again, this is a different platform. So maybe you might not understand it, or your listeners might not get it. But believing in something and knowing that the supernatural will back you. That's which we call faith, right? This is what I'm doing.
Speaking of free, there was a comment made by Reverend Abraham Lamte recently. He came out and he actually stated that he believes that gospel concerts should be free because access to God shouldn't be priced. So where do you stand on that? Because being that it takes money to make money, it takes money, you have to put in a lot of money and resources, you know, to put up these concerts. Where do you stand on that?
Again, when I saw that with his picture tagged on, I said he's definitely been misquoted because if this is how it is, then Bibles should not be sold in the shop.
Oh, that hits. That actually really hits.
Interesting.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or,
I like how you put that.
Or Bible applications
Should be for free.
Yeah.
You understand? We live in this world, and irrespective of that which you call unction or anointing, your Delta or British Airways ticket would not be discounted.
No.
If you want to sit in first class, you pay for it. If it's $6,000 and you have $5,599 or $5,560,
That's true.
same way. Even churches here in Ghana, quote me one church, unless the pastor is led. But they also charge literally almost the same as the Grand Arena. Why are they not doing it free?
Right.
Why are they not saying, oh, this is very powerful, come in free with free instruments? Because they got to pay staff, they got to pay workers, they got to maintain the building. Okay, so because we live here, the Bible says, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. You understand?
Yes.
Anything that comes free has no value. Okay, now in Nigeria, there's a flip side to all of that. Pastors are the ones sponsoring, and so the people can come for free. Because one pastor has put in $100,000 because I believe in you. So here's $100,000. So Obia Mausa $100,000 Nidia, then Charlie, don't be greedy. Ube charge minimum be faso bibi sofetria bibi. You got it.
Yeah.
So I kid you not. Most gospel artists put gate fee. Oh, thank you. Okay, now I got to put this out there.
Okay.
Gospel artists hardly get sponsorship.
I was just going to come to that when you mentioned the pastor sponsor.
You would have a church elder who works at a Coca-Cola shop or MTN or whatever, but to the letter commander on yet. Based on company policy, some of them don't really support religious stuff. Most one I won't say omo logo abon no amon skake to ebi no amano a free airtime and not bundles.
Yeah.
You know, and the person want to look good, so they
allow it.
So gospel artists struggle to put events together because the same rates you pay in this person's studio is the same rate she will pay.
Sure.
There's no fee for gospel. If you're a gospel artist, then we'll charge you less. There's nothing like that. Adriania or restaurant and throw gospel artists for discount, right? So I think Reverend Abraham Lamte was misquoted, and because he's very knowledgeable, he knows better. So I don't think he said it. Okay, I think he was misquoted. That's why I came on to break things down. And I said, I think he was misquoted because he knows he travels. He knows how it is. Nothing is free.
Okay.
But
Now,
do you believe-
if we are understanding this correctly, the Rhythms of Africa church tour is for free, right? But the concert happening, is it going to be for free as well?
So
But based on what
there's a gate fee for it. Now, two things this thing will do to reduce the crowd. Okay, because imagine after 10 years. We've done stadiums. We're back. It's free. Where? Grand Arena.
the crowd.
One of the reasons why you wouldn't come is this. Charlie, Sonnie Badu, any free nipa pibe, but Charlie, my internet fee.
I get that.
Charlie, my internet fee.
True.
Nipa pi. And Sonnie Badu has an interesting crowd. I have the elite and the dog chain seller. You know, I have them as I literally cut across, and I want all of them there, right? Now, I'm sure not to bottom ni but I wouldn't chain. Now I'm on Sasso Nyamia on also the Nesat for more Nyamia. You understand? So wisdom will tell you, sir. From minimum, somebody said this is too cheap. I said yes. I'd have done it free. Oh yeah.
How cheap is it though? For those who don't know,
the figures are I think 60 and then 100 and then I look. I mean, check. It was a team that put it together. I kid you not. I'm not interested in that. It's just that this is self-funded, and I have a lot of projects I'm doing into. I can't put everything in this, right? Yeah. So I definitely need help from people, industries, company, businesses, you know. Of course, nobody is bringing it for free. But everybody wants something out of it.
Yes, talking about you doing this single-handedly, I mean, how easy or difficult has it been, you know, coming up? What experience should people expect coming in for Rhythms of Africa?
Listen, Rhythms of Africa is one that I have. I want the next generation to watch the SonnieBadu that they knew or they've watched, right? There's an entirely experienced Badu who now lives in America, has lived in America, and there's a way you do. Somebody some time ago, many years ago, told me that there's a sound you need in order to be on the global scene, and that's how I started with that new sound that you asked. So there's so much experience I've put under my belt that I just want somebody's visual and auditory cortex to be fed. So with that, if Sonny could do it, I can do it too. Number two, I've been away for a long time. And people said, oh, we Janum to, and I didn't know. Guess what? The church actually got me singing every day because I never stopped leading worship. So me for my car, at least 40 minutes I'm leading. Guess what? It's made my vocals even better. I hit the high pitches even better because I'm always singing, leading a choir, every day at church, right? So this is an experience and a performance, okay? Once there's gate fee, you got to come to a performance. And no. Once you put a gate fee there, you got to give a performance. They got to come down and sit down and say, visuals, man, stagecraft, outfits. Like, I take time to choose, design how everything must be. So I mean, if you've been to my concerts before or watched it, expect
top notch.
Absolutely.
I'm reliably informed that VVIP is 200 CDs, and then VIP is 100 CDs, and then the regular is 60 CDs. So for those of you who
now with the VVIP for this concert, side by side, na the screen mamo. Why? Because especially in Ghana, when you bring VIPs and they're sitting at the front, to them not showing him say
no reaction.
I don't know what's wrong with us. Sometimes you go to a concert, right? The person is singing Charlie Obito, they don't show emotion.
Does that disturb your performance?
Of course.
Okay. And how do you overlook
Israel
that?
many years came to Ghana and he was ministering. I think it was at the Dome, and people was just just watching him, and he said, "What's wrong with you guys? What's wrong with you?"
Oh, he actually asked.
Oh yeah, weird. No. Listen, you need energy. You need. I need you to be singing the song, and let's have a synergy. Let's have a party, right? Now, me tuna. Come on, Sasuba could be now.
Maybe they are in their spirit.
Yes. No.
The spirit doesn't move like that.
Spirituality is also expressive. Okay?
I think people need to understand
Bless
that.
the Lord, oh my soul, right? Within. And all that
is within
me. Bless His
holy name.
So your hands, everything, right? So it's internal and external. So not showing emotion, no, right? So that's what it is. You give me the energy. So most artists, they'll tell you that bring the funds from a brain. That's why when you see Shatta does well when he has his crowd singing. No, emotional.
I think Snoop Boy did a similar thing last year at his BIM concert where the regular
get so emotional. Minister Stone or Stripia, but Shatta a part of the emotions. He's excited, and then even if you're tired, some adrenaline just kicks in, and then you're just like grateful and thankful. Most musicians have low self-esteem. Michael Jackson did. Most top artists have very low self-esteem. So when you see a Davido moving with an entourage, a Sarkodie moving with an entourage, there is always, I don't know about Ghanaians, but internationally there's always a hype man in there.
I mean, Ghanaians have started doing
they do
that
good.
well, so.
The hype man's job is sniff and know if he's doing okay and make sure his energy is 100%. Okay, so you need that, because once you're done out there, you're like a deflated balloon. Apparently Michael Jackson sometimes after his performances will be in the shower for hours just there. it happens to me too. Once I'm done, I'm just quiet, and I want to hear what people were saying. Like, oh, what did they say? Oh, it was really good, man, and that encourages me. You know, so there are a lot of technicalities that comes with all of this.
Are there going to be other artists performing alongside?
You have
Sonnie
Joe
Badu?
Metal on there. You have MOG. You have PSA on there. You have Perez music. You have Efe Grace. You have a lot of people on
When
there.
is it happening?
Oh,
also?
and Nigerians. You have Prayer.
Okay.
And then Neon Adeju is on there as well. Yeah.
When is it happening for the
9th December?
That's next week.
Next week.
Yes, definitely.
I've got a few more days to go.
You have a new song out, Enojari.
A few new songs.
A few new songs, but the one that I've seen a lot is Enojari, right? Can you share a bit on that with us? And then if you're going to be working on an EP, an album, and then we wrap up with that.
You know the system and the time is changing now. So years ago you could release an album and just bring it out and everybody would jump on it. Now there's too many songs streaming, so it has to be single by single. Like how far? But Enojari was inspired by one of my mentors' wife. She's been a great supporter of Sonnie Badu. Nigerian woman, met her 7 years ago, her and her husband. There's nothing I don't need that they wouldn't give. Oof, listen, everybody needs a destiny helper like that. And I began to listen to a story, and the name Enojari means the suffering has ended in my life. And after hearing that, I just wanted to put a concept together. So that was their house. So when my house and their house, that's where we shot the video. Yeah, and I flew UV from London to come to America and shoot it.
Okay.
It's fun, yeah.
Okay. Now, I understand when you say that, you want to do it single by single. Whatever Sonnie Badu has for us, we are going to
I've got Idima, and we're yet to shoot the video. I've never done a video here in Ghana, so I want to do that here. Then I have a song with Joe Metal. I mean, that one everybody's been waiting for. It's a big one.
Okay.
Trust me.
But I'm sure you guys are going to be performing it.
Yes, we're going to be doing that.
But then I believe that we still want a body of work, because I feel like when you have a gospel album, right, you can like just put it there to play
and soak it in.
Exactly.
So that's if you are a SonnieBadu fan. You know, I could be somebody could be a SonnieBadu fan that I want that new thing from Sonnie Badu. Or I love Sonnie Badu, but I also like Sinach. I also like Moses Bliss. So you want a whole compilation. This is that season where it's more of a gospel compilation season. Okay, so when this season passes, we'll come back to the whole album thing, season by season. So you got to just know it and just step in.
Okay, the event we've been talking about is Sonnie Badu's Rhythms of Africa concert happening on the 9th of December. You heard him say that. We're going to check out the ad. When we come back, we wrap up on Culture Daily for this morning. It is the ladies' edition. Let's check it out.
GH, prepare for an extraordinary worship experience as Analytics Management presents Rhythms of Africa. SonnieBadu live in concert. Come experience an explosion of talent and passion as SonnieBadu commands rhythm and artistry into non-stop praise alongside JJ Hairston, MOG, Annie Badu, Nasi, Preye Odede, Joe Metal, and a lot more. Saturday, December 9th at the Grand Arena, 5 p.m. sharp. Tickets selling now at only 60 cedis single, 100 cedis double, and 200 cedis VIP. Available now at the malls, Airport Shell, Starbites, Pinkberry, and Frankie's Osu. Go digital. Dial star 711 star 11 star 20 hush or visit www.imagebureaugh.com. Rhythms of Africa. SonnieBadu live Saturday, December 9th at the Grand Arena. Brought to you by Analytics Management with support from our media.
All right, so that was the Rhythms of Africa concert ad. SonnieBadu is going to be in concert in Ghana 10 years later. I remember the 2013 one was in December as well, right? Yeah, I remember correct. I remember so well because it was very impactful. That's how come I remember it so well. But tickets, where can they get tickets?
If I can remember, Airport Shell, Frankie's. What was that?
Online.
There's a
And even other event, other venue.
You see, that one is dangerous because then when you get there and there are no
Yeah.
tickets, they wouldn't let you in.
Okay.
But there's a short code for it, hopefully, but we don't have enough time.
Which we saw the short code. We can play that after again. Production, is that possible to just play the ad again?
So the
for
short
people?
code is *711 *11 *20 and then hash.
Okay.
That's the stock the barcode.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
So for those who want to be present, SonnieBadu in concert, *711 *11 *20 hash. You could get your tickets, VVIP 200, VIP 100, and then also regular for 60. We will be there, ladies,
Yes,
right?
of
Yes,
course we
we
will.
will.
We'll
I
be there. We'll
cannot
be
wait.
present.
I don't mind being the front row.
Yes, but yeah.
Because it's going to
also,
be non-stop, back-to-back.
we
I
will
could
be
go
there for it.
up to 4 hours.
We'll be there for it. Yeah, because
Non-stop.
the first one we really closed early as in late. So
okay,
yeah,
okay.
that
At dawn.
was a good
At
one.
dawn.
Yeah, that was a good one. But yeah, again, welcome back to Ghana. All the best with the concert. It's been a
Thank
pleasure having you here, and
Yes.
I know that it's going to be an amazing night come the 9th of December. So we're wrapping up on Culture Daily, guys. We've had SonnieBadu here with us in the studios. It's been the ladies' edition with Isilfwa, aka.
Adios.
And then Chantel, aka
Shanty baby.
Yes, and then me, Lenny Lamote, your international TV and radio presenter living in Ghana at the moment. And do have a great day. Bye-bye.